gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah.
I recently got my hands on the OPPO Find X9S Pro, and out of all the latest smartphones that have launched, this is actually the one I was most excited to try. Surprisingly, it even caught my attention more than its bigger sibling, the Find X9 Ultra. The truth is, the Ultra models already offer far more than I personally need. What interests me more is a phone that delivers a better experience in everyday use. The headline feature of this device is its new dual-wing imaging system, so that's going to be the main focus of today's review. I'll be spending some time testing how this camera system performs, because at the moment, there really isn't another phone that offers a directly comparable setup. Some devices sit above it in terms of camera hardware, like the Ultra models in the Little Show lineup, while others fall below it. For example, my friend's Honor Magic 8 Pro Air, which also belongs to the Little Show lineup, doesn't offer the same imaging capabilities. So throughout this review, I'll compare these two phones to give you a clear idea of what the dual-wing system is capable of. Before we jump into the camera tests, there are two things about this phone that I'm not completely satisfied with. The first is the display. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. It's using a Tianma panel, and I don't have anything against Tianma as a brand. In fact, if this phone were priced somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 yuan, I'd say the screen is perfectly acceptable. But considering this device costs well over 5,000, and in some versions even more than 6,000 yuan, which is roughly 663 British pounds, I honestly think OPPO should have included a higher quality display. When you look at today's flagship market, Xiaomi, Huawei, and Honor have all been improving the screens on their flagship lineup, including both the standard and Pro models, while OPPO and Vivo often reserve their best displays for the Ultra or Premium models, while the standard and Pro versions still don't feel as impressive. Hopefully, both brands will continue improving this area in future devices. The second issue is something longtime OPPO and Vivo users will probably recognize: the dual speakers. They're still fairly average. It's been a recurring weakness, especially on the standard and Pro models. In comparison, Huawei, Honor, and Xiaomi generally provide much better stereo speaker performance across their entire flagship lineup, whether it's the standard, Pro, or Ultra version. These aren't major deal breakers, but they're definitely areas I'd like to see improved. Once you've experienced a really good stereo speaker setup, it's hard to go back to one that sounds less impressive. With that out of the way, let's move on to what really matters: the performance of this dual-wing camera system.
A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content. Now let's dive into the unboxing.
There's no point comparing the ultra-wide cameras since they're just standard ultra-wide lenses, so to keep things simple, we'll focus on the main cameras using their full high-resolution modes. OPPO is equipped with the dual-wing system, while Xiaomi relies on a 50-megapixel sensor. The question is whether this smaller dual-wing sensor can compete with or even outperform Xiaomi's 50-megapixel camera. Our first test takes place indoors under relatively dim lighting, and right away you can see there's a noticeable difference. Camera performance here depends heavily on the available light, and the gap becomes quite obvious in these conditions. Now let's move over to the telephoto cameras. Xiaomi uses a 72mm focal length, while OPPO goes with a slightly shorter 65mm lens. To make the comparison fair, I stepped a little farther back with the Xiaomi and moved closer when using the OPPO, so both images have nearly the same framing. Looking at the results, the dual-wing camera holds up extremely well. Compared to Xiaomi, it's almost on equal footing. If you examine the corners closely, Xiaomi still has a slight advantage, but OPPO's image processing is already very refined. Considering Xiaomi has built a strong reputation for its dual camera performance, that's an impressive result. Next, let's compare it with the Honor Magic 8 Pro Air, which features a 50-megapixel main sensor. Starting with the primary camera, Honor does have a small advantage over the OPPO in some situations, but indoors that advantage isn't particularly noticeable. Now let's move on to the telephoto camera.
The dual-wing camera clearly delivers stronger results than a typical 50-megapixel setup on the OPPO. In indoor conditions, it proves that it can even outperform the larger sensor main camera in certain situations while still maintaining a noticeable advantage over the smaller 50-megapixel sensor. When it comes to the telephoto camera, it's just a little behind Xiaomi's performance, but it's still well ahead of the average 50-megapixel telephoto lens that uses a smaller sensor. Now let's head outdoors and see how things change in better lighting. Using the main cameras once again, the difference in detail isn't nearly as obvious as it was during the indoor low-light test. The dual-wing system continues to produce impressively sharp images. The only small issue I noticed was a slight mistake in the way it recognized the color of a license plate. Other than that, the results look very solid. Moving over to the telephoto camera, the performance is genuinely impressive. Even the color of the license plate is reproduced accurately, and the overall color rendering looks very natural. It also does a surprisingly good job of recognizing faces from a distance. Of course, it's still not quite at Xiaomi's level, but it's already delivering an excellent result. Compared to the Honor phone, though, the difference is much more obvious. The main camera produces noticeably sharper images than Honor's, and the dual-wing telephoto system, paired with its 50-megapixel sensor, is comfortably ahead of Honor's telephoto performance. Next, let's check the 10x zoom. At this magnification, it's going head-to-head with Xiaomi. Even before zooming into the image, the quality already looks very impressive. Once you crop in, Xiaomi still has a slight edge. It's also worth mentioning that I left the camera in its default high-resolution mode, so the 10x shots are still being captured at 25 megapixels. Even so, they don't quite match the quality of Xiaomi's 12-megapixel output. That's understandable, since the two phones use different sensors and different focal lengths. Even with that in mind, the overall performance is still very strong. Now, let's push things further and look at the 30x zoom. Honestly, I think the results are excellent. At this price point and in this size of phone, I don't think you'll find anything noticeably better when it comes to telephoto performance. If you zoom all the way in, Xiaomi still maintains a slight advantage, but the gap isn't huge. Overall, after taking a large number of sample photos, I think you should now have a good understanding of what this Find X8 Pro's camera is capable of. It sits somewhere between a standard flagship and a true ultra model, making it feel like a semi-pro device. I call it semi-pro because the main camera isn't quite on the same level as the larger Sensor Pro models. I don't currently have devices like the Find X9 Pro or the Vivo X300 Pro available for a direct comparison, but one thing is clear, its high-resolution main camera is more sensitive to lighting conditions. In weaker light, the high pixel mode definitely loses some of its advantage, while in bright conditions, it performs very well and delivers impressive detail. So if we're being completely accurate, describing it as a full micro-ripple camera system isn't entirely correct. Even so, it's an eye-catching feature from a marketing perspective, and one that will definitely attract attention. The bigger question is pricing. Since this phone falls into the 5,000 to 6,000 yuan range, and many standard and pro flagship models released earlier are already available at similar prices, its value isn't especially competitive right now. However, if the price drops significantly, I think it becomes a much more worthwhile purchase.